To me, I feel even if you've contracted the disease, it's better not to know, because more often than not, if it turns out that you do, I think changes your whole perspective of life. It's like the same reason why people wouldn't want to know about the future.
I don't think I'll live beyond the age of 55, because by then I think I should have AIDS, and I'm sure 20 years down the road, someone out there in this day will be lighting a candle praying for me because I'm not here anymore.
I do have friends who are gays, and yes, they are afraid that they might have HIV, but they dare not go for HIV tests. Yeah, they rather not know the truth if they have it. So it's pretty frightening because they know that people will discriminate them.
I can still recall about a few months ago, a guy approached me and he brought me into a toilet in some shopping center. He did something unnatural to me and I did not resist. And I fear that I've caught AIDS.
We should try to be more compassionate towards people who have AIDS right now, because I think they themselves are in a pretty difficult situation, and for us, I think we must try to feel how they feel and be more compassionate towards them.
If I had AIDS and if I was still a swimmer, I would still live my life the way it was and not change a thing, I guess. I think this is a personal matter.
When I think of AIDS, I think of fear. Instead of looking for a medical cure, we should look for a moral cure.
其实艾滋病的宣传活动应该是每一天都不停地提醒每一个人自己去做一个防范，那个是很重要的事情。
一听到艾滋病，我当然会害怕了。如果是艾滋病的病者要到我家来住的话，我肯定是很难接受的啦，这是真实的话啦。因为人家所说的就是说艾滋病会传染，它的细菌会从口中会飞出来这样。
AIDS is avoidable, but many people are just ignorant about AIDS. They believe that the chances of them getting infected is very small, and this ignorance makes them unaware of the danger of AIDS.
I think teenagers nowadays see sex as like an in thing. Like you see, hey, I have sex with another girl, and like everyone like so proud and like feel like he loses his virginity and like so in like that.
I think urgent and decisive action is needed by all governments to educate our young people about HIV and AIDS. After all, AIDS knows no borders, and I think no country is immune to AIDS.
因为我们是好像政府批准的给我们开门做生意，连那些好像在路边的那些就好像很危险这样，因为其实他们都没有去check up，没有去看医生这样，他们只是在外面拉歌这样，就那边比较肮脏这样啊。来这边嫖女孩子的话我们是固定180要用安全套，不然我们不招待他的。我有2个朋友得了艾滋病已经死掉了，因为他们乱嫖咯。
我们只知道他们这样做去寻找这个距离的是不对，可是他们的立场一定有他们的原因，一定有他们的痛苦。坦白讲一句，不管做什么都好，最好是善事。每一个人做每一件事都有他的代价，一定要付出的。
Sometimes standing in Zouk with all that loud blaring music, I could feel so alone because with all that vibrance and all that youthfulness in the air, I wonder whether they know which direction they're heading in and whether they know how to appreciate life really is.
We're trying to use events as a way to promote not only like musical knowledge or knowledge on fashion, but of course like social causes, and I mean AIDS being one of them. I've read about Mrs. Verghese, I think, and other people like her, and it's quite amazing what they do. And I mean, we don't realize the bigger picture and see the people out there who are really suffering. And so I would say to like the people out there who've been afflicted with AIDS, there are people out there who do care about you.
The Candlelight Memorial, it's a memorial for those who have passed on from HIV and AIDS, but it's also a show of support for those who are living with the disease as well. When we first started the Candlelight Memorial about 10 years ago, the support that we had from the public was really very small, but as the years goes by, we are seeing a growing number of supporters, and it's very pleasing to see so many people right now at the Youth Park to commemorate the Candlelight Memorial here in Singapore with us.
We feel that this stigma, that is, we cannot judge them because we are not the judge in this world to decide whether what somebody has done is wrong or right. Let God decide about it.
在台上的那一个感觉，真的没办法形容出来。特别是之前，当我看到那些艾滋病患者，他们本身要跟这些公众人士打招呼，公众人士对他们还带着一种恐惧的表现，当然就是艾滋病本身病患者的另一种打击了。
This thing about being sharing and giving is very important in life. We may not know who is the next person or next victims who will be suffering from AIDS. Maybe me, maybe somebody else, we may not know. But I guess this is the moment whereby we give support to people who are suffering from AIDS.
The SAF recognizes prevention as the most effective means of controlling the global AIDS epidemic. And health education has been our primary tool of preventing HIV infection and other sexually transmitted disease. We have adopted a vigorous multi-pronged and multi-level approach. The working objectives of the campaign are to refresh the awareness of AIDS as a fatal incurable disease.
Nama saya Zulaika. Saya adalah pesakit HIV. Saya telah berumah tangga dan mempunyai 3 orang anak. Saya mendapat penyakit ini melalui hubungan dengan suami saya. Suami saya sekarang sudah meninggal dunia. Kalau boleh, saya ingin badan-badan Islam memberi sedikit perhatian kepada pesakit-pesakit HIV, begitu juga pada pesakit lain. Kerana mereka yang tidak bersalah, yang menanggung risiko seperti saya ini, yang dijangkiti, bukan kerana kehendak saya.
对于我本身来讲，就是说，一家4口啊，感染到这种病啊，根本就没有好像说多余的钱去吃药这些了。小孩子他们根本是无辜的了。假如有一天我们父母先去世或是怎样来讲，孩子以后最怕的是好像说没有人照顾，没有人帮助。 还是希望说政府好像可以给我们一些帮助啦。
每天我给我的孩子吃药，他每天问我妈咪，为什么我每天去吃药呢？那个药也是很难吃的，连我的心里 很难受，很辛苦。我回答他， 就是我不对咯，生你出来，给你生活不好，身体也是有病。我要活下去，照顾他，看他每天长大。
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
I think for most of us, AIDS is still very distant, very unknown. It's a disease that happened to other people or other countries, but when it strikes home, then you think of it very differently. And when you have knowledge of someone who you knew, who's full of life, so talented, who actually succumbed to it, then you feel the full impact, the pain and the sense of loss. And my greatest wish, if ever I could make a wish, is that I never again have to know of any others who succumb to this disease.
I never know that one day I become a transgender, okay, or I will become a sex worker and get caught HIV, okay. And so now I just feel like maybe it is still a dream. Maybe I one day wake up and it's not real. I never feel sorry for being HIV now because that changed me, right, from a sex worker to a skilled worker. So it's something that I never thought that I can be.
You appreciate all these little things because somehow having this is sort of an awakening, I guess. Like, hey, you got to open your eyes and don't take things for granted anymore. And every little thing is so meaningful. Like just turning on the tap and watching the water flow through, taking a shower, and all this sort of thing. I always like to pass on a very positive thinking to show them that it's not a death sentence after all, and with a will and a lot of positive thinking, life just goes on.
I could not understand how could employers ostracize HIV patients just because they wrote in their resume that they are sick, that they have HIV, and therefore in their minds it becomes that they cannot work and will not be productive, they are not efficient. I do not think this is the right attitude. I would really think that it's time that we change our attitude. It's time that we change our mindset in order to achieve a breakthrough.
In that 3 months, I lived very much like imagining myself as someone with HIV positive. And whatever that I felt at that point in time, I can only say that's only a percentage of what the real victims felt. First is the complete disbelief, and then after that is complete denial, and then the final cruel acceptance of it. And it's almost like a death sentence. At the end of the day, it's not so much of the illness that is killing you, but it's more the prejudice, the environment, and what people think of you that kills you eventually. So you're dead even before you actually die.